What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to another edition of Weapons Hot Mission Briefs here on National Professional Streaming Sports. I'm your host, CJ the Painkiller DeSimone. Just basically doing a little show tonight just to say hello and let everybody know, hey, I'm still here. I'm still alive. I know it's been a minute since I've actually gone out there and actually performed anything or put anything out there. Well, to be honest with you, there really isn't a lot of New York Jets news to talk about. And you know what? I kind of like it that way. Because, last year, everything was all about Aaron Rodgers 24/7, 365. How many times he blew his nose, how many times he wiped his ass, how many times he picked his ass, how many times he picked the booger out of his nose. Every time, he had a scratch behind his knee, just all kinds of stupid shit like that. It was just all day, every day, nothing but Aaron Rodgers. All right. And now I'm kind of glad that this offseason has been rather quiet. It really has been. Really has been. And look, I like the fact that OTAs still going on. They've come and gone. Players have shown up. Aaron Rodgers have actually gotten to work with some of the receivers, working exclusively with Malachi Corley, Jets' recent draft pick for this season's draft. And it's nice that he is finally getting to work with the receivers, getting out there, testing the legs, testing the mobility, working on the timing, teaching the young kids exactly what he wants from them, what he's expecting from them. And, to be honest with you, to me, this is what, as a veteran quarterback, you should be doing. Now, I'm glad that everyone seems to, again, just be completely disrespecting the New York Jets on every level there is. And why not? Low-hanging fruit. Jets haven't won shit. Nobody fucking cares about the Jets, but everybody loves to fucking pick on the Jets. I'll tell you that much. Plus, on top of it, that fucking joke of a schedule that we got, all right, which I'm going to talk about. And really, you know what? Fuck it. I'm going to talk about the schedule right now. Okay? 3 games in 11 days. Like, what the fuck are you thinking? Like, I seriously think that the NFL has a fucking algorithm for the rest of the NFL and then the Jets. Because the Jets always seem to get fucked in the ass with no lube when it comes to their schedule. You finish 7-10. You should get a middle of the road schedule, right? But some of the games, are just absolutely ridiculous. And it's like the scheduling. I think it's cool that the Jets are going to be able to go overseas and actually be able to play. I think that's going to be really cool. And one of the things that I'm kind of looking forward to is I'm looking forward to the fact that, it's for me, it's I'm looking at the way the New York Jets are going to be playing in regards to, in regards to playing out of your division. Now, I know I'm trying to say about 5 different things at one time, and it's not fucking working. So basically, I'm just going to go through it like this. All right. The New York Jets at home, you already know you're going to play Buffalo. You play in Miami. You play in the Patriots. At home, you're bringing in the Houston Texans. You're bringing in the Indianapolis Colts. You're bringing in the Denver Broncos, which is now going to end up being a new rivalry game for them, considering that all of our cast-offs and scrubs seem to want to go play for Sean Payton and the Denver Broncos. Then you're going to be bringing in the LA Rams. And, of course, the Seattle Seahawks. All right, Geno Smith making his return to play against the Jets in MetLife Stadium. All right, now let's go for the away. Let's talk about our road games. Buffalo, Miami, New England. We already know that. You're playing Pittsburgh in Pittsburgh. That's going to be a relatively tough matchup. You're playing the Jaguars in Jacksonville. Okay, some of y'all live in Florida. It's fucking road trip time, baby. The Tennessee Titans. Okay. You're playing the Minnesota Vikings. You're playing the San Francisco 49ers, and you're playing the Arizona Cardinals. All right? So the funny thing is that when you go and you actually take a look at the New York Jets schedule, and I'm actually trying to get, the dates up here. All right? So this is the fucking thing that pisses me off right here. Okay? September 9th, Monday Night Football. Okay? As a matter of fact, I want to see if I can share my fucking screen with you people. All right? Give me a second here. Present. Share screen. There we go. Yep. Let's see. Let's see if this works. All right. So here we go. September 9th, Monday Night Football. Okay. September 15th, the Tennessee Titans. September 19th, you're playing the New England Patriots. Okay? 3 games in 10 days. Okay? Then everybody says, okay, well, you get 10 days off because September 29th, you get to play the Broncos. Okay? Whose fucking idea was this? Huh? Because whoever's fucking idea was this needs to get hit in the head with a fucking bat. Because why the fuck on God's green earth would you schedule 3 games in the span of 10 days? The last time they pulled this bullshit was when Todd Bowles was head coach. All right? Sam Darnold was our quarterback then. How did that fucking turn out? Not pretty good if I fucking remember, remember correctly. So you know what? This is fucking bullshit. It is. You know what? I don't fucking understand sometimes what the hell the league's problem is and why they can't actually give the Jets a halfway decent fucking schedule. And then we get a bye on week 12. Come on, give me a fucking break here. I mean, now look, I'm not complaining about the opponents. I'm not complaining about the 49ers. I'm not complaining about the Titans. Definitely not complaining about the Vikings. Definitely not complaining about the Jaguars or the Houston Texans or even the LA Rams. Okay? The reason being is because if you want to be a competitive football team, if you want to be considered a championship football team, look what the fuck you got to go through. San Francisco 49ers just got off a fucking Super Bowl appearance, right? Minnesota Vikings playing for a playoff spot. Houston Texans, division winner, won a first round, okay? Seattle in the playoffs. LA in the playoffs. Jaguars in the playoffs, okay? These are the teams you have to fucking play. These are the teams you have to be able to play with and be able to find a way to beat if you're going to be considered a championship football team. Not even considered a championship football, not even a championship football team. How about just fucking a big boy football team? How about that? That's it. That's all you're asking for. If you want to be considered amongst the NFL's, I wouldn't say elite, but if you want to be considered amongst the NFL relevant, these are teams you need to be able to hang with. These are teams you need to be able to beat. 49ers could hang 40 points on anybody. The Jaguars, okay, last year, sure, they ran into some issues, but you know what? Overall, they're a much improved team than they were the year before. All right? The Texans, come on, fucking D'Amico Ryans. All right, first-year head coach. All right, they fucking made the playoffs. All right? Now, there's always people that are going to be out there that are going to criticize this shit, okay? And the one thing they're always going to say, you know what they're going to say? You play who's on your schedule. And then when you play who's on your schedule, and then you end up with the record that you have, or they see you start winning games, it's, oh, well, you had a soft schedule. Oh, well, you didn't have to play so-and-so. Oh, well, you didn't have to play so-and-so. No. To me, you play, no matter who you play, you're playing to win the game. Good old Herm Edwards. You play to win the game. It does not matter who your fucking opponent is. All right? It doesn't matter if it's Cleveland. It doesn't matter if it's Kansas City. It doesn't matter if it's fucking New England. It doesn't matter if it's fucking Miami. It doesn't matter who it is you're playing. Detroit, okay? Baltimore, Cincinnati, okay? Insert whatever fucking team you want to put. The New York Jets right now, as you're currently constructed, their roster, even an unpaired roster, you are a significantly more talented team on paper than you were last year. But that's on paper. Last year, we had playoff dreams dancing in our heads, right? This year, there's a playoff mandate. So now, Aaron Rodgers, Robert Saleh, Joe Douglas all get one more kick at the can. If you don't fucking make the playoffs this year, I guarantee you, they are going to blow this shit up, which means Douglas is getting fired, Saleh's getting fired, and Rodgers is probably going to be like, deuces, I'm out. Love you. That's what's going to happen. When I take a look at this schedule, what pisses me off is the fucking 3 games in 10 days. Okay? But, again, you still got San Francisco. You still got Tennessee. You still have New England. Out of the first 3 games right over there, New England should be a win. I'm sorry. They are in the middle of a rebuild. Gerard Mayo is going to put his fingerprints all over that team. They are going to get used to a brand new system, okay? They're going to get used to a brand new defensive system. The Patriots' defense has always been strong, no matter who the head coach was, all right? And Belichick's been there. Belichick's like a fucking chair. He came with the stadium, okay? But now that Belichick's gone, Gerard Mayo is going to look to put his stamp on this New England Patriots team and also this franchise as they go forward. All right. But the Jets right now, as you're currently constructed with them in a rebuild, there is no reason for you not to fucking mop the floor with them. Okay. Tennessee is also going to be another team that's in transition because Mike Vrabel's out. They're going to have a little bit of roster turnover. So really your toughest game that you're going to be looking at is San Francisco on Monday Night Football. And to me as a fan, I would love nothing more than to go into fucking San Francisco. And even if you lose that game, all right? Even if you lose that game, you put up a good showing, you scare the fucking shit out of them, because now people are going to look at that fucking team, or not really a team. People are going to look at that game. And let's say for shits and giggles, game goes to overtime, San Francisco wins 27-20. All right, or 26-20. All right? Because, you know, the new overtime rules over there, everybody gets a chance to possess the ball except when you score a touchdown during the regular season. Okay? So, let's say they score a touchdown in overtime, it's 26-20. But the Jets are hanging in there. Maybe the Jets come from behind. Maybe it's a back and forth game. Okay? If you can hang with the San Francisco 49er team, especially coming off a Super Bowl loss in which you know they're going to be pissed off and they're going to be looking to say, like, yo, it's our fucking time. You go into San Fran and you fucking hang with them and you put a scare into them, even if you lose, your season's gotten off to a pretty good start. Because then you know when Tennessee rolls up, the same intensity that you took to the San Francisco game is the same intensity you're going to take to Tennessee. And then you're going to have to you're going to have to, on a quick turnaround, go to New England or play at home with New England, because I believe the color coded, the ones that are in green, those are the ones that are home, and the ones that are dark are away. So you got 2 road games, and then your home opener is going to be September 19th. So what better way to walk into your home opener than being 1-1? At minimum, you should be 1-1. If you end up rolling on September 19th and you're 0-2, you got a fucking problem. Because I'm sorry, Tennessee in the middle of the fucking rebuild, you got Derrick Henry's no longer there. They got issues at quarterback. Their defense is up in the air. Like I said, Vrabel's out. So there is really no reason why the Jets cannot go into Tennessee and smack the fucking shit out of the Titans. You are a better talented team. And with a healthy Aaron Rodgers, with the rebuilt offensive line, provided everybody stays fucking healthy and everybody knows their blocking assignments and nobody gets hurt, bring them down to your level. Grind them the fuck out. That's what you need to do. Start playing meat grinder type football. That's what you need to do. That's all there is to it. So now, that being said, right after September 19th, you get 10 days off, and guess what? You get to welcome the Zach Wilson-led Denver Broncos, if he even fucking makes the roster. Okay? That should be interesting. Then you're going on the road to Minnie. You play the Vikes. You come back home. You play your first shot with the Bills. Then you go to Pittsburgh. Then you're back up in Foxborough. You play another game against the Patriots. You're finally done with them. So you already got three division games under your belt by the time you get to Halloween, where you're playing the Texans. So, then after that, you got the Cardinals, you got the Colts. All right, Anthony Richardson's going to be back. All right, hopefully he's healthy for that game. You don't know what the Colts are going to look like. Then you got your Week 12 bye. You finally get the rest. Then you got your last push for your last 6 games. Seattle, Miami, the Jaguars, the Rams, the Bills again, and then you finish the season off in Miami. So you definitely, on this schedule, just right now off the top of my head, without looking for any fucking rosters or anything like that, I'm going to give San Francisco a loss just for shits and giggles. Okay? Just because I know people are going to be like, fucking 49ers, man, fuck you. All right, so for all you assholes that are going to act like that, we'll take the L. Tennessee, definitely a win. New England, definitely a win. Denver, definitely a win. You need to fucking smack the shit out of them early and often. Okay? The Vikings, okay, you give them a loss. The Bills, you always play the Bills tough at home. The Bills, for whatever reason, can't win in MetLife. So keep that streak going. Do it. Pittsburgh's going to be interesting. All right? Russell Wilson. You don't know what the fuck that team's going to look like. So I'm going to give it a W. Fuck it. So you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wins right there. Okay? Patriots, you should be able to sweep the season series from them. I'm sorry. So that's 6. So figure you're 6-2 over your first 8 games. Okay, you do San Francisco and the Vikes. Okay? Over your first 8 games, you're 6-2. Texans, yeah, they're going to be hard. We'll give them an L. Okay? So now you're 6-3. Cardinals, November. That should be a W. That's 7-3. The Colts. You know what I'm going to do just for shits and giggles to make it interesting? Let's make that a win. Okay? So now you're 8-3 over your first 11 games going into week 12. All right? Seattle? I don't know. Seattle's a question mark. That could go either way. So let's give it a loss to keep it interesting. Okay? Miami. Miami's always a fucking tough game. The Jets always have a problem winning in Miami. So you know what? Let's give that an L. Okay? So now, what do you got? So you got back-to-back losses here. So what do we have? 8-3, 8-5. Jaguars on the road. Tough game. You're back in Florida. Okay? I'm sorry, but I love Doug Peterson, but I still do not respect Trevor Lawrence. I do not. So you know what? Let's take a dub there. That's 9 wins right there. LA is going to be tough. Matt Stafford, okay? That Rams defense always finds a way to fucking give people fits. All right? I'm going to give that a fucking dub. You know why? Because I think right about here, these last 3 games, even when you start getting into month of December, this is all fucking gut check time. All right? So, lost against Miami, win against Jacksonville. I'm going to say win at home against the Rams. Fuck it. Okay? So, what's that? 9, 10 wins? Okay? Then you're going up to Buffalo. All right? Play the Bills. Let's give them a fucking upset. Okay? So, that's 11. Now you play Miami. So you're playing Miami at home. That game could be a playoff berth. A playoff berth could be a wild card berth could be at stake right there. You know what? I'm gonna give the Jets a dub. 12 fucking wins on this schedule right here so far. And mind you, I haven't looked at rosters. I don't know who got who. I don't know who's doing what. Just right off the bat, I can tell you, I can see 12 wins off of this fucking schedule. If you can get through your first 3. You go through your first 3 games and you're 2-1, the 3 games in 10 days. Yeah. You're going to make some noise. You're going to start turning some heads and people are going to start looking at you differently. My opinion. So, why not? Why the fuck not? If there was any time in the New York Jets franchise history for you to fucking make a statement, this is the way you make a statement. You want to be considered a playoff team or a relevant NFL team. This is what you need to do. A healthy Aaron Rodgers should help you be able to do that. Because we already know the Jets defense is fucking stacked. All right? And arguably, I could actually make a case that even though Robert Saleh finished back-to-back years at 7-10, and a lot of people want to say, well, it's Saleh, you know, it's his fault, and it's this and that and third. Nah, I don't necessarily think so. I think if Saleh has a fucking competent offense and probably a different quarterback not named Zach Wilson or Tim Boyle or fucking Trevor Siemian or some other jackass that they found on the fucking that they found in Walmart's bargain bin, one of those 2 years you make the playoffs. I'm sorry. That's just how I feel. Okay? And look, y'all know I don't mince my words when it comes to this fucking team. And there's a lot of times that I'm really not positive when I talk about the New York Jets in any fucking capacity. All right? But there's only so much blame to go around. There's only so much blame to go around before you have to turn around and say, well, with the shit that he had, he did get 7 wins. So if you give Robert Saleh a fucking competent, middle-of-the-road offense, I'm not asking for a first in the league. I'm not asking for top 10 offense. I'm not even asking for a top 15 offense. Give me somewhere between 16 and 19, okay? And if our offensive line could be middle of the road, 16th, 17th, maybe 18th, there's no reason this team can't win 10, 11 games. I have them penciled in at 12-5, and mind you, I'm just fucking around here, and I haven't even looked at rosters, okay? So I ain't making no fucking predictions, but this is what I'm looking at right now. And for me to say 12-5, looking at this fucking schedule, there's a little bit of merit to it. There really is. So anyhow, I'm going to stop sharing this screen right here. So real quick, we're going to wrap this up. We only got a couple more minutes left to go in the show. Basically just a recap, talking about the schedule. I think the schedule, in my opinion, just aside from the fucking 3 games that they have to play in 10 days, I think the schedule is relatively manageable. This is the year that the Jets have to show up. You have to prove that you can play with not only the NFL's elite, but the upper tiers of the NFL franchises that are there. You have to be able to be competitive with them. You have to be able to have an offense that is capable of putting points on the board, which has been this franchise's biggest problem for the last fucking decade. Okay? Our defense has never been an issue. Our special teams has never been an issue. It's always been the fucking offense. So if this is the year that the offense can finally pull its head out of its ass and actually fucking be functional, like I said, just middle of the road, the Jets, hands down, very well could be a playoff team. And I think that even people out there who want to bash the Jets and say that this is probably the worst team they've ever seen, this is probably the worst franchise known to man, this is probably the worst this or the worst that or the worst the other thing, nobody fucking cares. Joe Douglas, Robert Saleh, they got a playoff mandate. They are all in. Aaron Rodgers, he's all fucking in. All right? So this is the one last kick at the can. Because if the Jets do make the playoffs, you go into the divisional round and you almost make the AFC Championship game, you know that Aaron Rodgers is going to be like, yo, we could have fucking won. Give us one more shot. Maybe Woody Johnson will say yes. Maybe he'll keep Joe Douglas for another year. Maybe he'll keep Robert Saleh for another year because you'll finally be able to fucking see something in this franchise. Saleh said it weeks before taking the field for his very first game as New York Jets head coach. Never being an NFL head coach at any point in time. It was going to get worse before it gets better. Because we had to trust the process. Now, did Saleh make an ass of himself along the way? Yes, in some cases. But you know what? You got to fucking play the hand that's dealt you. And believe it or not, to go back-to-back years, 7-10, with an offense that's like shit, with a quarterback that had his head so far up his ass, you turned him sideways, it was the letter Q. I mean, there's only so much that you can fucking do. There really is. There's only so much that Saleh can do. And now you got Rodgers, you got Tyrod Taylor, you drafted another rookie who can actually fucking sit and learn. You don't have to throw him into the deep end of the pool, just like the Jets always fucking do whenever they draft a quarterback. Now is the opportunity for us to be able to sit back and see the finished product, and hopefully it all works out. That's basically it. So, my name's CJ the Painkiller DeSimone. This has been Weapons Hot Mission Briefs here on National Professional Streaming Sports. I'd like to thank everybody who's tuning in tonight. Don't forget to check us out on Roku. Any place where you look up Northeast Streaming Sports, just Google us. You'll be able to find it. Also, check me out on my YouTube channel, Weapons Hot Mission Briefs. With that, peace, love, go Jets. Love you guys. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you soon.